Stupid OBS. Give me 1 second. Apparently my OBS wants to have technical difficulties at the moment. It didn't want me to switch scenes. Oh, it did. It just went to the wrong scene. Let me get back here. It would do that to me. Just because, why not?
Yeah,
why
sounds
not?
about right.
Wouldn't it be a podcast without some technical difficulties? Welcome, everybody. Greatly appreciate everybody stopping by for the TPwn All Access podcast back. Oh, apparently UFall can't hear me. Can you hear me now, UFall? Yes? No? Maybe so? Alright, so with me is Army Master UFall. It's always a great start. So we're going to talk about a few things. We got Ubisoft, Xbox, Nintendo, Square Enix, let's see, and Army Master's choice wants to talk about specific things that he enjoyed of the E3 showdown, which would be the UFall. Can you still? No, can't hear UFall either. Come on, UFall.
We can do it.
You can do it, bro.
We believe.
See, you shouldn't have left. You shouldn't have left. Army Master's going to be talking about Cyberpunk 2077 and Halo. Can you still not hear us, UFO? No? No habla inglés? No habla español? Try to rejoin and see if that'll fix it.
It's peachy.
Hey, can't be perfect. That's what makes it fun. All right, so this podcast is a little bit different than normal podcast. What up, Ish, Heavy, Tartar, Keen, Swordog? All right, so how this goes is we're going to be talking about stuff. I know you're not UFO, but it moved it because he hasn't rejoined yet. Miss Jones, what's up? How this is going to go is we're going to talk. You guys want to answer, you guys can answer. You guys have questions, you guys can answer questions and we'll answer them. So it's not the normal podcast where we just rattle off at the mouth and talk about whatever we want to. Because what would be the fun in that?
Right.
All right, so first, the big two of E3 has to be Xbox and Ubisoft.
I agree.
Totally 100%.
Those were the two biggest showings that I seen. Of course, you have the Xbox with the Project Scarlet, 8K gaming, frame rates 120, ray tracing, and it's supposed to be coming 2020. What are your thoughts on that one?
Can we just punt Sony into a river and let them drown? They are just going downhill quick. Microsoft has made two big announcements in the past 2-3 years, and what has Sony done to really bring anything back to the table?
Well, they made their announcement before E3.
Much.
They made their announcement of what their PS5 is going to be capable of, which is near Xbox. It is the software. But the question then runs into, is software enough? Is it going to be Last of Us 2, but what did they really say about it? They haven't said nothing. They're keeping everything a little hush-hush. And I think that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. Because let's be honest, the last two showings of E3 that from Sony were
bad.
They show the same things over and over again. Yes, PS4 might have great story games, but Xbox is working on that. And people don't even realize it. They announced Gears 5, which people weren't even expecting Gears 5 to even be coming out this year. But that's Xbox bread and butter. It is. It's the bread and butter. Gears 5, Halo, that's their bread and butter. Those were the two big announcements for them.
Yeah.
However,
I agree.
So Forza,
Yeah. However, Blair Witch is technically
really good.
an Xbox console exclusive. But
Right.
that's everybody's argument of what console is better. Oh, Xbox doesn't really have exclusives because they share it on PC. But if people realize Microsoft is a PC, I have both. Yep, Ultimate Pass. We're going to be getting on that heavy.
Oh yeah.
I have both. My Xbox X runs better than my PS5 Pro. It downloads my games faster. It runs faster. That's just how it is for me. But some people say their PlayStation runs faster than their Xbox. But,
So, Joker, let me get this straight. You have a PS5 Pro. Where did you
I mean,
get this?
4 Pro.
How do I get one?
4 Pro. And I will be one of the people that buy the Scarlet and buy the PS5. And, that's just the type of person. Day one. I will have it day one.
All right.
I will have that console
I'll
day
try.
one.
Let's throw
Nice.
something out there right now. And it was something I was reading with regards to when the Project Scorpio came out.
Mm-hmm.
They put a price tag on it. Then the PS4, I believe it was the PS4 Pro that came out. Then they changed their price tag. Is that what could potentially screw Microsoft over with the PS5 Pro
No.
coming out at the same time?
Not even close.
You want to know why? They're both going to be the same price.
Yeah.
If they're not,
Xbox learned its lesson when the Xbox One was released, and they said you have to pay this because you have to deal with the stupid
Connect, yeah.
Connect. That's what their downfall was. I feel they wanted the Xbox One to be more of not necessarily. They wanted it to be outside the box. They just didn't want it to be a gaming system. They wanted it to be a household
does it
system.
all, right? The
It does it all.
box per se.
That's
Okay.
And with the Scarlet, what they did was, see, I never had any bugs. I've had my Xbox One. I got it day one. Never had an issue. My kids still play my day one edition of the Xbox One. I've never had an issue.
Have the VCR.
I still have a VCR too. So,
Same.
You have an
But,
Atari while we're at it here?
No, but you know what I think, Army, though? Like, go
but
ahead.
see,
Yeah.
the same thing can be stated. But what people fail to realize is when PlayStation 4 was released, who couldn't play their consoles for 3 weeks? Oh, wait, that's right.
What?
That was PlayStation because PlayStation tried to rush to beat Xbox. As far as sales goes, the main reason why PlayStation beat Xbox is because of the stupid Kinect. Because Xbox said you had to have online, you had to have the Kinect, you had to have this. If I'm a customer, if you're saying I have to have this stuff,
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I don't remember that
I hate the
conference.
stupid Kinect. Like I had the Kinect, I didn't even use it. It collected dust. It
Right?
literally
Yeah,
collected
it's a
dust. I
gimmick.
never used it. It was a gimmick. If they wouldn't have had the Kinect, guess what? It would have been the same price as PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But Army, like, even if they don't sell at exact same price, like, it doesn't matter because A, both companies always sell hardware at a loss, and B, Microsoft is mostly like software driven, so they have extra revenue coming from elsewhere as opposed to Sony right now. Like, they used to do everything, but mostly their biggest revenue,
Exactly,
most of the money
Bacon.
comes from PlayStation right now, so they have a lot more to lose there compared to Microsoft. So it's all
well,
good.
and what people don't remember is last E3, the announcement that Xbox made was they picked up 5 different studios,
Oh yeah,
5
And that's
different
growing a
developers,
lot
and they
now.
just picked up some more. And one of the developers was for what PlayStation game was that? God of War?
Mm,
Oh.
They picked up a God of War developer.
oh yeah.
So Microsoft stopped focusing on Xbox only. That's what they did. They started focusing on software. They started focusing on the game. The games for people that you can play on your Xbox, PlayStation,
Now on your Switch,
Because
PC,
I
etc.
can name a game that was developed by Microsoft that is on all systems, but I can't name one Sony game that's on any other system. That's what Microsoft wanted to focus on. They wanted to focus on the game. That's why when, what was it, Rocket League, oh, you want cross-platform? We got you. They didn't even argue
Yep.
it. PlayStation wanted to come up with excuses until Fortnite didn't give them a choice, and Bethesda didn't give them a choice and said, hey, we want to cross-platform. This is how it's going to go, or it's not going to be on your system. That's exactly what Bethesda said for the new Elder Scrolls game, I want to say, that's going to be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
When they were talking about developing it. Well, Matrix, I'm going to tell you a story of a good friend of mine who just bought a PS4 Pro, has had it a month, and now he can't power it on.
Odd.
Oh.
So PlayStation has its problems too. PlayStation might have never done you wrong, but it's done other people wrong.
Oh, exactly.
Neither system has done me wrong. I love both my systems. I love my PC gaming. I love my Xbox. I love my Switch. I love the games for all of them. I get a little bit of everything from all my consoles. But we already know Scarlet is going to be more powerful than the PS5. Developers have already said it. They've already played both systems. They know what both systems can do, and it's already been stated. The Xbox Scarlet is more powerful than the PlayStation. However, just because it's more powerful, does that necessarily mean that it's better? And I think it all comes down to taste. No. I love both my systems. I love my PC, like I said. I've never had problems. I've had my Xbox One day one. My kids still play to this day. I got my Xbox Scorpio. Haven't had no issues. Got my PS4 Pro. Haven't had no issues. But with my other PlayStation, I did. My regular PS4, I had issues. That's why I upgraded to the Pro, because I started having issues after a year.
Wow.
So that's
Now,
one big announcement from Xbox.
well, let me ask you a question though, Joker. With Microsoft coming out with a One X that is strictly digitally based,
The
no
S?
disk drive, no nothing.
Yeah.
Could we see a Scarlet rendition of that?
Not right away.
No.
They've already stated it will not be right away. However, that could change.
For now. It's crazy. I thought they were going to do both. And
me, preferably, I don't care if my
now.
system has a disk drive. I use it all digital anyways. I don't use disk with my PlayStation or my Xbox. So that don't really bother me. But speaking of diskless and whatever, the other announcement from Xbox is the xCloud launching in October, which is their new streaming platform where your Xbox One becomes your own cloud server.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that was another thing. However, PlayStation already technically had something like that, but it hasn't really gained ground. So what did Sony and Microsoft do? They said, hey, we're going to work together to help improve their digital streaming platform. And the reason why is because of Google. They know Google's something new. They know the best way to destroy Google is to work together. Because, they're all going to have the same games. The streaming platform is going to have the same games. Xbox is going to have their exclusives. But the multi-platform ones, they're all going to have. So they got to work together to try to beat the big bad. Honestly, I don't see them beating the big bad per se. But maybe lowering their numbers and where they're not getting... I personally will not be getting the Google Stadia, whatever, that they announced. I won't be buying it. I feel there's no need for me to buy it. I have all the games already. Porter, thank you for the biddies. Greatly appreciate it. I have no need for the new Google whatever thing that's coming out.
Same.
So what happens to the PS4 when the PS5 comes out? The same thing that happens to the Xbox One S and the Xbox X. Nothing. Because all the systems, they're not making separate games for the newer systems. They already stated that. Both Microsoft and Sony have already stated any games that you have on the PS4, you can play on the PS5. It's basically the backwards compatible, and that's where Xbox beats Sony, hands down. Their backwards compatibility works perfect.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Google wanted a piece of the pie. That's what it is. They want some of that money, you know. But doesn't everybody? We always want that,
Yeah.
money. Now,
It's only the biggest entertainment industry right now. It's already beaten Hollywood
yeah.
a while ago. So
Now,
of
the
course.
part that I'm excited for, and many people might not be excited for, but I'm excited for, is the new Elite controller because I love my Elite controller. I love it to death. The only thing that used to irritate me is having to change my damn batteries all the dang time. That
I'm glad they fixed that.
they went the Nintendo route. They had the 40 hours of rechargeable battery life, which will come in handy. And of course, it's going to have the Bluetooth, so you can you don't have to get your USB cord and plug it in to play your computer games. It's going to be all Bluetooth, so you can just bam, sync it. It's work. That's what I'm excited for because even though I like my PC games, I like my controllers better. I hate using mouse and keyboard when I'm playing the game. That's just my preference. I can't get out of that. Like, I've tried. I just can't get out of that. I need my thing. And, I ain't worried about Call of Duty. I'm not even worried about Call of Duty no more. Call of Duty has disappointed me so much. I'm not saying I'm not going to play it.
I won't buy it.
I'm not buying it.
Right, same.
My homie that I game share with is buying it, so I will be playing it. Now, if they have cross-platform, definitely. Well, the controller, it's not going to change the game. It's just an upgraded Elite controller. You can do a little bit more stuff. Modern Warfare is supposed to be cross-platform. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm sorry to say, I think it will be console cross-platform. But I don't see it being cross-platform with PC. There's no way. PC just has more of an advantage in that type of game. They can do quicker movements. They can do quicker shooting for that style of game. So unless they figure out a way, I'm gonna have the Elite controller day one. It's already reserved, so just has to get paid off.
Well, speaking of Call of Duty, why remaster the old Modern Warfare? You're just going to come out with a new one and call it Modern Warfare.
Because they wanted to see what the taste for it. No. The other one is. The one that came out with the last Call of Duty is a remaster.
Warfare, yeah, that one is. This one, no.
But I think they wanted to see how people's reaction was. How bad they wanted Modern Warfare. Because when they made the announcement that they did, saying Sledgehammer was not making this year's game, that was based off of... Yeah, see, I just seen Army's reaction. He's like, what? Yeah, they kicked Sledgehammer out. They said, no, you're not making this year's. We want this.
So who's making it then?
Activision and Treyarch.
Okay.
It's the same ones that made Modern Warfare. This one, I'm glad they brought the story back. That was what disappointed me with this year's. They didn't have a story. I always loved playing the campaign of Call of Duty.
Exactly.
Wait, so now it's a van award, right?
But see,
yeah,
that might not necessarily be true, Porter. I don't know if you've ever played Dauntless, but if I'm playing Dauntless, I'm playing on my PC, I'm playing with people on Xbox and PS4 at the same time. So we don't know what they're going to do with it. They haven't said nothing at all. They made that little short announcement. Yeah, they made that little short announcement, and then that was it. I'm excited that the campaign's back. I enjoy the campaigns of Call of Duty. I always have. Ghost was one of my favorites. It really was. Many people may disagree, but I love the story of Ghost. I love that story, and I loved how they ended it.
Cool.
Well, and they ended it on the cliffhanger, and I've been still waiting for what happens after, and I may never know that, but the story of Ghost was such gripping, and that's how it always has been with Call of Duty, even with the crappy Infinite Warfare.
Oh God!
Even with that one,
just ask for a remastered version of Ghost, and then have like a Ghost 2, like
a sequel
couple months later.
Now, however, the two big names for the Xbox, Ghost Story was awesome. the two big games for Xbox. Well, and obviously, they got the Blair Witch game, which is console only on Xbox, which is huge. It looks pretty good. You can get it on Steam and all that good stuff, but for console, it's only on Xbox. But Xbox's two biggest games, Halo Infinite, Gears 5, gets the release dates, even though it might not be the release dates that people may want, especially for Halo.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to launch a console, you want your head game. And Gears or Halo is one of them. I'm not a big Halo fan myself. I'm not a huge one. But it's a big game for Xbox. And this one actually looks pretty good. It might actually be the first Halo that I buy. I've never bought any Halos.
Really?
Ever.
Oh.
I've played them. Hold on. I've played them. But it's never been my game of choice. My game of choice was always
Same.
COD.
Oh.
It would come down to Call of Duty or Halo, and Call of Duty would always win. I'm just saying.
Cry. This is unheard of here.
No.
But
Halo was the first game I ever played on the original Xbox and wanted more of it. I didn't care about Call of Duty. I didn't care about any of that. It was Halo, Halo, Halo.
Okay, you want me to tell you a story?
No.
Call of Duty
Joker.
came out later.
Hold on. Joker was never an Xbox fan.
Oh.
Joker was a PS4 fanboy. I've always been a PlayStation fanboy until the 360, and then I went over to the dark side and been on the dark side ever since.
Yeah, we have cookies.
Well, it was Call of Duty. It was Call of Duty World at War. That's what got me into Xbox, because all my buddies had World at War on Xbox, so of course I had to buy it so we could play zombies.
No,
Well,
I get that.
my first console.
Also,
Hold on.
last gen they got all the exclusives.
You want to get to first consoles? My first console was Atari, bro.
I knew you were gonna say that.
When I say I'm a gamer for life, I mean I'm a gamer for life since I was 2 years old and was able to play video games. I have been playing video games. I have played almost every single system that's out there. That's how I am.
That's cool.
Well, see, I enjoy this. Okay, I enjoy the story of Halo, but not the multiplayer. I enjoy the story of Halo. I think it's a great story. I've always been infatuated with the story. Same thing with Gears. I love the Gears story. It's just like it was for Halo. It wasn't enough to bring me into that game.
Gears has some great lore.
Oh,
Yes.
The story is amazing.
I agree with that 100%. But let me talk about Halo now, because I love my Halo. We've all seen Halo have great games and then just plummet into abyss.
Fine.
Exactly. Thank you. Somebody
Welcome.
knows what I'm talking about here. Can we effectively
them.
say this could be the Halo to bring back the franchise?
No, I think it's the Halo to end the franchise.
What?
Why do you think it's the Halo to end the franchise?
How do I put this? When you have a game like Halo, it has a story, right?
Oh, of course.
All stories must come to an end. I think this is its end or its near end, if that makes sense. I haven't, obviously I haven't played this, but from what it's looking in the trailer and just knowing how story games go, it looks like this is either the end game or close to the end game.
I was thinking about that. Like maybe it's the end of Master Chief, but they're gonna pass the torch along to some other new,
But no, the whole thing is Halo is Master Chief.
child
That's
bastard.
Yeah.
who we want to follow.
Right.
I think it's going to revitalize it to a point, and then I'll agree with Joker. It will die.
Yeah.
Let's figure out, will Master Chief actually die, and just that's where it ends. Now, Can we say in 3 years it'll be done, or are we going to say relatively within 5?
Yeah. Who knows? They could, okay, it's done. You know what I mean? Depending on how the game ends. And that's what it really means, is how the game ends will tell you how they're going forward.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Because there's so much they can still do with the universe. Look at.
See, I don't agree, Miss Jones.
That was great.
I think Halo's gonna. If they continue on with Halo, I think it's gonna get better, just based on what Microsoft has acquired, their software. They specifically picked this game to be their starter game to really show what Halo can do, and not Halo, Scarlet can do. They wanted it because Halo has always been the type of game, even though it's not my cup of tea, but Halo has always been that graphic intense game. It's never been simple. It's always been very intense, very where you need a lot of moving parts for it to work correctly. Otherwise, it looks like crap. That's one thing that Xbox has always been able to do with certain games is make them look perfect, regardless of how much moving parts
Tango
it is.
has a good point.
I'm going to touch on what Tango said. It is. I'll agree. It is a naval rating, but if you were going to kill off Master Chief, wouldn't you want to destroy the suit outright and just destroy the whole Master Chief character completely?
Maybe maybe the suit will only work for him.
Well,
we don't know.
The thing. Like, hopefully, we can get that closure before they just end the franchise.
I think the campaign is going to be epic. I agree, Team Pony. I think the campaign, Xbox, when it comes to their games, I'm not going to say exclusive because it's not really exclusive if you could play it on PC, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to their main games, they always make sure to bring in the big guns. They want it to look perfect. They want it to look good. And, that's where Halo comes in. And I think that's where Blair Witch is coming in because, you can't play it on PlayStation. That game looks scary as, I'm just saying, it looks like that creepy when you first watch the Blair Witch movie and, okay, realistically, we're not talking about realistically, Tango. It's a video game in the future. They're not using naval ships. They're using spaceships and all that other fun stuff. Oh, Borderlands 3 looks epic. Not even gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
And exactly, the split with Activision, I think it's gonna help Halo. I think.
Please.
I think it's not just gonna help Halo. I think it's gonna help Destiny too. But I'm not gonna start on the Destiny stuff roller coaster. We're not even gonna go there yet. The other big announcement was, we got the Battletoads game, which was fine and dandy for the kids. Double Fine joining Microsoft. And
I didn't see that coming though.
I didn't see that coming with the Psychonauts. That's what Microsoft is doing now. They are, bringing all these studios in to try to bring more story games, more indie games to the people that only play on one console. I know there's not many people that only play on one console. There's going to be a Destiny 3. It's just going to happen, but I think with Bungie and Activision stopping, I think it's bringing them to a point where they can do what they wanted to. There was a lot of red tape and hoopla and, I don't want it to be this, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I want it to be this way. And so they had a lot of rules that they couldn't follow because certain people like Sony wouldn't allow them to do it. Sony wouldn't allow them to bring your character from the first Destiny over. So they gave something different. They couldn't, they wanted to do it a certain way and couldn't do it. So they had to make it a different way to help, Sony. Which, when you got that kind of power, that's what happens. Yeah. The cross-saving. They wanted to bring the cross-save starting at the beginning of Destiny 2, but certain people, certain companies didn't want them to do it, so they had to do it a different way. But Xbox, I feel, had a great E3. It would have been interesting to see if Sony would have been there, how that E3 would have went. Because there is games coming out to, PlayStation that people want to know about. Last of Us 2, Death Stranding, the PS5. And I think it could have been something for them, but I think they were too scared.
Ghost of Tsushima. So wait, how would you guys rate that conference alone? I'd give it an A. How about you guys?
Oh, definitely an A. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that
Same.
they
Through and through.
focused on the games first and then moved to the console. Like, they made you think, oh, maybe they're not announcing it. And then, bam, that's when they announced it. I enjoyed the fact that
I
they
know.
not only showed their games, but they showed other games that weren't console exclusives, but they showed them how they are right now. The big story is, Cyberpunk 2077, which everybody's excited about, which we will be discussing in just a little bit. That's the game everybody wants. No, it doesn't matter what console you're on. Everybody wants to play. And when they had who make the announcement, it made people want it even more. That was the big surprise. Nobody's seen that part coming. Yeah, and then we got the unlimited Game Pass, which I feel is a good deal if you can get your Xbox Live as fast as possible, because it automatically
Year 5.
upgrades. You can get up to 3 years upgraded for your Ultimate Game Pass. You pay $1 for it, and it upgrades your Xbox Live for however long you got. If you got it to November, it upgrades it to to November. If you got it for 3 years, you got it for 3 years, and then you get Gears 5, Halo, Forza, and like a ton of other games. And not only that, it gives you the pass on your computer and your console, which makes it even a bigger deal.
Oh yeah.
When
Really
does
sweet
that
deal.
end for the Xbox? Same Porter, thank you for the biddies. I believe they said there's another week, or is it Thursday? It's either another week or Thursday. You can increase your Xbox Live for up to 3 years. You pay $1. It automatically upgrades you to the Ultimate Pass, which works on your computer and your console for the rest of your Xbox Live subscription that you currently have. That's why I'm trying to go get my Xbox Live increased for a year, so I can have that stuff until November 2020. Because that gives me Halo. Well, not Halo yet. Yeah, Halo, yeah. It technically gives me Halo because my subscription
Whole
doesn't
Master
end.
Chief Collection and 5.
And and Infinite, because that one won't drop until the Xbox Scarlet drops, which is sometime in November. And
you barely
then
made it there, but you'll still be covered.
still be covered enough where I can beat the game and then call it a day. But Gears 5, Gears 5 is included in it. That's a big deal. And you get the pre-order stuff, even if you're not, because you have the Ultimate Game Pass. So I think they're trying to get more people into this. And yes, it's a deal if you think about it, because you got the PC Game Pass, you got the Xbox Game Pass, and then you got your Xbox Live included in that bundle. But it's $15 a month. And then you have the Uplay, $15 a month. And then what's the other one? EA Access, that's what, $5 a month?
$5 a month, yeah.
And then you had this and this and this.
Tiers.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a year, man. The year you saved, I want to say, $20 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, for $15 a month, it is not bad because you can play your games on the computer,
Right, like $5 each, like Miss Jones says. That's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. You get each for $5, and I think normally, just for the PC one, I think they said the price was going to be like $10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you do save.
Well, you're save money, yes, and then no. I want them to have where you just pay a year. I like paying my year flat out. Just
Same.
here you go. Bam, here's my year. I don't have to worry about it for a year. That's how I like doing it. I don't like paying by the month. I like just, here's a year, bam, it's done, it's taken care of. I don't have to worry about it. So the next topic, Ubisoft's E3.
Oh boy. That was fun.
I
That was
enjoyed it.
fun.
You got
Same.
now. See, like I don't know if either one of you played Watch Dogs 2.
Hmm.
I was disappointed in it.
So was I. I kind of want this one to be better.
This one looks better. I enjoy the fact that you could take over other characters, like a grandma, and
Oh
pistol
yeah.
whip somebody. I feel when I play it, I'm going to be doing that a lot. There's something about a grandma.
Well, we hear on the
Well,
news, Grandma
You
pistol
can play
whipped
as the
somebody. Well, we know it was
dude.
Joker.
Recruit them all.
yeah. Well, and as far as Assassin's Creed, no, they didn't announce a new Assassin's Creed, which I knew was going to happen because they said they weren't doing one for next year.
It's fine though.
But instead, they made it where you can make missions.
Oh yeah, that new
Yeah, you can.
was
You
it
can make.
something creator, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a creator mode where you can make missions on this Assassin's Creed. And I think the reason why they didn't want to push it is because I enjoy this Assassin's Creed. I haven't fully beat it yet. I'm like 80% on it because I wanted to wait till all the other stuff came out with it.
Odyssey is great.
Exactly. When they first showed it, you're like, oh, it's another Watch Dogs. Okay, whatever. But when they showed where you could play different characters, there was different stuff. I don't have time to make my own story. You know, that stuff was interesting. So I can't wait to see more gameplay of it. I definitely will be buying that one.
Yeah, same here.
Another game that I was very, very, very intrigued by was Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Yes,
Oh
please.
god, they won right there.
I
Oh, yeah.
love the
Looks
gameplay
good.
that they showed. I like the fact that they have the Punisher playing the bad guy in the game. Like,
Mhm.
you can already tell that this game is going to be so massive. It's going to be long nights of not sleeping.
I'm just going to agree with Heavy right now. Just take my money.
Exactly.
Take my
Yep.
money now.
From everything that I, just the stuff that I seen at E3, nothing else, just the stuff that I seen at E3, I did my cost. And my cost from now until next November is $2,500 worth of stuff.
Ugh.
Well,
Now
you have
that's,
some like ultimate editions in there, right? Like some
Yes.
collectibles or not really.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Like the 249 Cyberpunk 2077 collectible edition.
Oh hell yeah! Don't get me started on Final Fantasy, so that's
I'm not-
ridiculous.
Oh man. But see, they might let us play as the Punisher on it, who knows? But I'm enjoying the fact that they brought him, and I'm enjoying that more of these games today are bringing more actors that people love that are, excuse my language, badasses on the small
Keanu
and big
Reeves?
screen.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna mention him yet.
Oops.
Into these
Damn it,
games.
Doug.
Like they've always had movie stars in games, but they've never like announced them in the game. You just happen to find out, hey, I know that voice. I know that face. Yeah, the
dude,
dog was-
Terminator's coming to 3 games.
Yes, 3
already.
games.
Like, a lot of Terminator and Spawn.
Ghost Street-
That's badass.
Yeah. You know, so I think they're more wanting to get into the movie culture and the Netflix culture and Hulu
Yeah.
culture, trying to bring these other characters in. But Ghost Recon ain't even out yet, and I want it. I wanted it when they announced it, and then watching E3 just made me want it even more. However, I don't know what system I'm buying it for, or
I was gonna tell you, like, the audience should tell us what system they're getting it on.
I haven't
I'm gonna taste
decided.
it depending on my friends.
I haven't. Well, I'm either getting it on PC or PS4, depending on.
PS4,
Be- I might get it on Xbox if quite a few people get it on Xbox, but I know a lot of my people will probably get it on PS4 or PC, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what really depends on what system I get it on. I don't like Star Wars Fallen Order. I love that game, and I'm probably gonna get it on PC because it's not a Ooh.
Oh,
You
what?
know, it's not a multiplayer
Multiplayer?
game, which I enjoy the fact that it's not a multiplayer
That looks
game
so good though.
because Star Wars Battlefront, just saying, both of them have really been disappointing.
No.
I enjoy the storylines of the single player.
They
Ubisoft's
went belly up.
yeah, Ubisoft's other announcements was the 3 upcoming expansions for the Division 2 and the movie,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is going to be on Netflix, by the way, with Jake Gyllenhaal. Like I said,
That sounds interesting.
it sounds interesting,
Yes.
and I would really like to know with this movie when exactly does it take place? Because
Hmm.
the Division 2 is kind of happening at the same time as Division 1 kind of happened. Like, it's not exactly the same exact timeline, but it's pretty freaking close to the exact same timeline, just sometime,
Yeah.
Between what and what.
Wait, no, like one is winter time and then two is spring, right? It's like right after
Well,
Christmas, so 2 or 3 months later, I think.
yeah, so it's like right around the same time. Oh, I definitely see a TPwn movie night with
Oh
that.
yeah.
Definitely. It's just a matter of when it's. But I'm excited for the new episodes. I'm not excited for the raid because that raid is it hurts my feels. And I'm hoping that this next raid is not as hard. But you really, really have to know your stuff in this game to do the raids. And, I understand, that's how it comes. But I'm hoping, one of the storylines is you're going after, that president, or whatever you want to call him, that's actually working with the enemy. That's what I'm hoping. Roller Champions was another decent game that was announced. I played the beta day one. I kind of had fun with it.
I couldn't try it.
I tried it. It's a game that you definitely want to work with people that you're cool with, because if you're playing with randoms, they tend to hold the ball, and that's what causes you to lose the game. They don't like teamwork. Rainbow Six Quarantine. That's another one. Not my cup of tea, but it looks interesting because I didn't think Rainbow Six was gonna go. I shouldn't even say zombies, but that's pretty much what it looks like. It looks like zombies or some kind of, dead people, it's basically you're fighting 3-player co-op team, tactical fight against infected. So pretty much zombies. But it does look interesting. I will have to say I would have to actually watch people playing it to see. I'm always a zombie killing type of game guy. I love all games where you kill zombies, and I love it. That's why I like Days Gone and what's the other one? It didn't really get acclaimed that much, but it was on all the systems. I enjoyed playing it. It just
World War Z?
Yeah. I love playing that game. It's fun. It's a stupid, I'm just gonna kill a bunch of zombies type game, which I like. Then they announced, what was the other one? The Marble RPG crossover of Elite Squad.
Oh.
They showed a little tidbit of it, and that was it. And basically, it's gonna be a free to play RPG. But that's about it. That's all you know. There's nothing else.
Sounds interesting so far.
There's nothing else. And then, of course, we touched base a little bit on the Uplay Plus, the subscription service. Now, what don't you like about it?
The price tag.
But it's only $15 a month.
So, let's look at everything else we're paying out the butt for. We got, the Game Pass that we got to potentially pay out for, for EA Access members. When do we just say enough's enough on all these subscription services?
But how is that Uplay's problem? How is that Ubisoft? But you got to think in terms of business, okay? If you're a company and you have these customers who love your games, okay? That's what it is. It has your games, your Ubisoft games, not other games that can be found on EA Access or Xbox, because it's going to be Ubisoft games. But this pass is only for your PC.
And that's the next thing I was going to drive at. Is it worth the price tag? No. For PC, absolutely not.
I mean, it depends.
If it was $15 and you get it across all platforms, yes, 100% sign me up.
But you don't need it on all the platforms. This is only for PC players. Because they have a separate service for your console players. But this is just to bring the normal console games that are only on console to your PC. That's their argument, though. These are games that you can't have access to at this time until this service comes available to play on your PC. So what if you're the guy that only plays PC games? You don't play console games. You don't think that's a fair price for 100 plus games for them to be able to play every month?
I would just say just remaster the classics at that point.
But they are.
Okay. Yeah, but in what what I'm saying is, if you remaster the console old games, let's say, and put a price tag on it of, okay, you can get 100 games for, let's say, $50. Full game without having to worry about renewing. Because isn't this acting just the same way as the Game Pass for Xbox?
But that's only for Xbox games.
No, but what I'm saying is you got to keep the subscription going.
But it includes new releases like Ghost Recon Breakpoint
true.
and Watch Dogs Legion and any other Ubisoft game that comes out. You're going to be able to play on your PC. You don't think that's a fair price for somebody that's only playing PC?
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
This is a little bit better than Origin, because Origin doesn't do that. Origin gives you a trial of a few hours, then you have to pay.
Right.
You have a discount, but you don't get the full game like what you do here with UB Plus.
So I think
I'll give Joker that.
You know, for a Game Pass of Ubisoft games, especially with the games that they're coming out with, and it gives you access to all their games by Ubisoft, only all their games. That's all the Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, Division, Assassin's Creed, For Honor. What's that little race? Trials of Fusion, I think, is made by them. So that's a lot of games. Like, I'm a big Ubisoft fan. So let's just say I want to play all the games from Ubisoft on my computer. I would probably pay the $15 a month. I might not keep the subscription the whole time, but I would definitely use it. And, you know, for like that Google Stadia, whatever it is, it's going to be available on there. So, you know, I don't know if they have a live service or what's going on with that, but you got the Google Stadia, whatever, you get the Uplay. That's a bet. $15 a month for 100 games that you don't currently own. You know, me, I own most of them, so it wouldn't be worth it to me. However, you know, I would get it, you know, before Ghost Recon and Watch Dogs, just to get it for $15 and hurry up and beat it. Well, no, see, what you're talking about is buying the game directly. All right? So that's anything. It's like if you buy a movie and you have it on Netflix, but you still buy the movie. You know, that's your choice to buy the movie. Feisty, thank you for the sub. So with the subscription service, it gives you the choice. You could pay the $15 a month, just like the Game Pass or whatever, you know, from Xbox. You don't have to pre-order the game. You automatically get it day one, no questions asked. Don't have to worry about it. You're not paying $60 for said game. It's already added to your stuff. Boom. You know, when it comes with that. Are you paying more for it over a year time? Yeah. But it depends on how many games you play. It depends how much gaming you do. Is it worth it? You're paying $60 to $100 per game, depending on which version of said game you get. So you figure if you're doing $100 a game, let's just say $60 a game, okay? And there's 20 games that you want. How much do you think you're spending?
$3 a game.
No, $60 a game.
And you get 20 games.
And let's just say you get 20 games out of the year. Yeah, you get all the exclusives of Ubisoft. So let's see. Let's do this math. We're going to do this math right here.
I like a little movie game, so it's worth it for me.
All right, so 20 games at $60. You're looking at $1,200.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now let's just say you're doing the 15 a month times 12 months. That's $180.
Huge difference. I think
You
it's
see
worth
what I
it
mean?
when you put it
It
that
all
way.
depends on how you game. It all depends on how you do your money. If you can afford it, then do it. That's what I say. Like, especially when they bring Beyond Good and Evil back. I'm just saying. Like,
Oh boy, that's gonna
you
be
figure
good.
for this Game Pass, it's $180. Okay, let's just say I only buy Ghost Recon and Watch Dogs, just the $60 version. That's $120 right there. So I'm technically buying 3 games and getting the rest for free. Who, Ubisoft? Dude, have you not seen the announcements? Ubisoft puts out quite a few games a year.
Mhm.
Yeah. Don't
A
forget about
year.
the pirate game.
Yeah,
That's gonna be good too.
Oh, Skull and Bones.
yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Like,
Oh.
the Ubisoft puts out quite a few games every year. You may not notice it, but they do. Like this year, they had Division, Far Cry. I know I'm missing another one. Assassin's Creed. That's 3 right
They got all
there.
the Raymans. They got all the Splinter Cells.
Rayman, and with their service, they're not just saying, "Oh, it's the new games." No, you get to play all their old games too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I enjoy of the subscription service. Me personally, I probably will not get the subscription service right away. Oh, Town Clancy, that's another thing. That's what they got.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so then of course they added the Brawlhalla and the new Rainbow Six and the For Honor. So you got that, and then they made other announcements of other games that we're gonna discuss, but like Ubisoft and Xbox, I feel were the biggest like the news ones. Like the other ones were great. The big news ones came from Microsoft and Ubisoft. With the added maps to Division, and they hinted toward this and hinted toward that, and then they I think every system's pretty much it's going to come down to the point of every developer is going to have like a subscription service. I think that's exactly what it's going to come down to. Every system's going to have a different subscription service, whether or not it's Ubisoft or Activision or Treyarch or however they're going to do it. I think sooner or later it's all going to be subscription services. How much money do you really want to spend? Or are you just going to buy the game? I like preferring to buy just the game, but if it's a good developer, I might end up doing that, Game Pass thing, or
Fair enough.
Right.
if certain games, that I like are going to be on it, like, with Call of Duty, they said, oh, no more map packs. We're not going to have those. You're going to get those for free. So they're finally starting to listen to people, and oh, cool. I don't have to spend another $60 to $100 on map packs that I probably won't play. So and that's how it comes down to it.
God.
That's one thing I liked about the Division 2 and the Division is a lot of their stuff was free. You didn't have to pay for it if you didn't have the money for it. So they wanted to include everybody. So that's what I liked about like the stuff that Division. Well, exactly. Activision doesn't want to lose anything. They've already lost a few things.
I like the option though with the Division 2 where you could either wait the week or just get the pass and get it a week early.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I'd want to keep going with the story. Since I got it before everybody else, I just want to keep going with it. But if I had to wait a week, it wouldn't matter to me one bit.
That's not that bad.
No.
I wish Blizzard will split from Activision though, but that's a different topic.
Mm-hmm. All right. Army, you guys want to discuss your topics?
Oh well, I already discussed about Halo, so I think I'll let you fall. Have his his
Okay.
time here.
Well, there were some like really nice things that that I got out of Monday and um, Tuesday. Like I was already really impressed with Ubisoft. Ubisoft, like you said, that conference. I think like every single minute of it, I was like really glued to it. The only thing that probably didn't belong in there for me was the whole TV show. Because like if that's an Apple TV show, maybe put that under WWDC 19, right? It doesn't really seem to fit here, but other than that, I loved it. But then it comes out Square, and honestly, when it comes to Square, it's like the last 2 3 years, their story was really underwhelming, right? I wasn't really impressed. I already knew that the big things were gonna be like Just Cause and Tomb Raider, and they already have like Life is Strange, which is okay, but not a lot of people follow it because it's an indie or something, a smaller project. So I was like, wait, this year's just gonna be mostly Final Fantasy, which I'm okay with because I'm really looking forward to that game. But I don't know. It was cool. Like there was like a shadow drop there. For example, they released a game on the Switch that night, which was Last Remnant Remastered, which is a title that a lot of people like. They're also bringing a lot of big JRPGs to the West for the first time. Like they have the Secret of Mana collection. They've got a lot of improvements on Crystal Chronicles that's getting remastered. So I know like that makes a lot of fans happy. One thing that I didn't see coming, but looks really good coming from a big studio. You guys know People Can Fly, right? They made Bulletstorm and they made Gears of War Judgment, which is probably not the best Gears, but what I saw right now, that first glimpse of Outriders, that looked pretty good. I really want to learn more about that game.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it got me a lot more hyped than Avengers, because Avengers was the big thing that everyone wanted to talk about. And don't get me wrong, I might play it, I might try it. I just wasn't as impressed with it. The more they talked about it outside the conference, saying like, "Oh, it's gonna be like a games as a service type thing," kind of like the first thing that came to mind was like Anthem, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm worried right now, right?" Because you have your 5 base Avengers, and eventually it's gonna spread out, and you'll get expansions and the lore and more heroes. I'm like, okay, sounds good, but I don't. I hope they don't like ruin it because it sounds more like DC Universe Online to me, and
Hmm.
I'm not a big fan of those type of projects. But that's besides the point. But other than that, another new game that was new that I was like, okay, I could be interesting in this was Oninaki, and I didn't really know what that racing game was about. That indie that was just like out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, I guess I need to fill up some space. I don't really do Dragon Quest, but the Builders 2, I know it has a huge fan base, so that was nice. But seriously, like I'm just glad how like everything about Square was just gameplay, trailers. Let's like not a lot of talking, right? They started strong with all the footage we got from Final Fantasy VII. It was first like we got the release date the night before because it dropped at the concert in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we start Monday with extended version of that trailer, and everybody losing their minds over Tifa. Even I did. I had my reaction. Like we wanted to see her, so it was awesome when she was finally like like you could see her fighting and all that. And then yeah, they talked about it for a little bit, and then they come back and it's like, okay, here's even more extended like gameplay, so you can like fanboy all over it. And everything about it was great. Like that first battle, when you try to blow up that plant and then have to get out of there on the train, that I remember playing that for the first time, but the way I saw the new mechanics, I like how they brought back the gameplay from part of it's like turn based, but part of it
Mm-hmm.
kind of has like more of that you're free to do whatever as you fight. But there's like a balance to it. Even people who tried the demo says like it feels like the best of the all in the new and mixed together, and it's great. The timing doesn't feel slow. You also have the stagger system from 13, which I actually enjoy. I thought that was pretty cool. And I don't know, it seems like Square, like it's doing everything right. I'm glad they are delaying their release. I don't like that it's episodic, but that's besides the point. I'm glad they finally brought the development back to in-house as opposed to getting an external, developer for it. So it seems that everything that they're doing right now feels so good, and that battle looked really, really epic. I'm looking forward to it.
See,
It's also more strategic now, and that really gets me excited. Go ahead.
see, I'm gonna state an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I don't care about the Final Fantasy remake. And here's my thing. I'm gonna state
Okay.
why. I'm gonna state why. Okay, I have a reason. I'm not just being an a-hole.
All right, I know. Go for it.
Why do I want to play a game that I beat X amount of years ago again? What is going to bring me to want to replay a game if I already know how it ends? You get what I'm saying? I understand people will buy. I understand. But
Well, what if there's
why?
still development in the middle?
But it's the same story, right?
True.
They're not changing the story. They're not adding to the story. It's the same story. So
Yeah.
what if they're just gonna remake and remake and remake? What are they actually bringing new to the table? That's one. The Avengers Project, not their best work. It does not look like it's going to be a great game.
I'm worried about it.
It just doesn't. And I have a feeling it's going to be an Anthem all over again. You know what I'm talking about, where the game is hyped and it looks good and it looks like this, and then it comes out and it's just
Dumpster fire.
It could be the Square's Fallout 76, so to speak.
Exactly. That's another one.
It's like, here's the game you're gonna play for the next 10 years, and it's like, oh, it's not even doing well within 3 months.
Yeah, if it has extra
it does
stuff.
feel like it.
How many characters do I have at World Tier 5? 2 on PlayStation, because that's all I played on, and I have one that I just started on PC.
I just have one on Xbox.
But Outriders, that game looks interesting. I would have to see more of the gameplay.
That's a gameplay one for sure for me.
Romancing Saga, it's a iffy game. I felt that they could have pushed the Final Fantasy more.
Yeah.
Especially when that's their big hammer throw. It wasn't the Avengers Project, it was Final Fantasy.
Right.
That's what it was. 7 and 8. That was their hammer. And instead,
yeah, that was a huge thing for me. 8 is finally coming back out of being, gone for so long. It's finally coming to everything after.
But why not make a new
years.
Final Fantasy?
Well, this is their in between stuff. It's like, we already had Kingdom Hearts, but what do we do between?
Speaking of Kingdom Hearts,
16,
a new DLC.
Oh yeah, that's right.
New DLC for Kingdom Hearts. I'm a big fan of Kingdom Hearts. I love Kingdom Hearts. Why not play through Final Fantasy VII one more time? Because I already played through it twice when it was on the original system.
Well, the good thing for us here in the West is we're getting stuff that was censored that only came out from Japan. At least we got content finally.
I unfortunately think that Avengers Project game is gonna tank. I just don't know why. I just have that feeling, and I think it's because it's been pushed so much. Oh, it's the Avengers, da 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 da, and you just know all the hype, and it's just gonna go because that's how it goes every time there's a hype game. Every time, it's always a disappointment. Anthem had so much potential. So much potential. I enjoyed it.
Money on their marketing, it's gonna be bad.
Let me ask this question then, Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're kind of already expecting this game to tank, do you think that we're actually going to get blown away, yes or no?
No. I think Marvel Ultimate Alliance that comes out on the Switch is going to be better.
Okay.
Agreed.
And the reason why, and I'm not saying the graphics won't be good on it. I think the graphics are going to be very good. But the gameplay, I think, is it's gonna be where it has its downfall.
It shines.
Because they're trying to push these graphics so much to make it look really, really good, which is fine. But if you don't have the gameplay, and from what I've seen of the gameplay, it didn't really enthuse me. It wasn't how I thought it was going to be. I was hyped for it to come. I'm like, oh yeah, let's watch this. And then it came, and I'm like, While Final Fantasy, was higher up.
Yeah. When they said the Square was making an Avengers game, I more like, hey, Batman, the Arkham series, or Spider-Man on PlayStation. Now it's like I could do something like that, story driven. You switch in between heroes. They do a different thing, and at the end, like all their stories combined for like a purpose, and then you fight like like a special
Mm-hmm.
villain, right? Like Galactus, or I don't know, anybody from them, like a Dormammu or something. But now that I've seen this, is like, and it really sucks because like the cast is really good. Everyone that voices the main, at least base Avengers, is super talented. So it looks like they really put a lot of money in there, but like probably like in the wrong area. So
Exactly,
I don't
Tango.
know.
See, Miss Jones brought up a good point of what's the difference between playing the Division 2 again and the difference of playing Final Fantasy 7 again. You get different stuff in Division 2. You can use different things. You can be a different type of character, use different perks, use different things. With Final Fantasy 7, you're playing the same game over. There's no different things. Now, if they added different things, that's fine. That's cool. But if it's the same game that it was, what? How many years ago? 15? Something like that?
More
See, that's even
22
worse.
now. 3, yeah.
20 something years ago, and, it's, yeah, exactly. They're pushing the Avengers while they can push it. That's pretty much what it is. You know, if there's something different, cool. But if it's the same game that I played, when I was, 10, um, you know, but that's just me. Other people are different. Other people are very hyped about it. You know, it's the same story, but you do it differently. While with Final Fantasy VII, it's the same story no matter what. You can't do nothing different. That's the point. It might be the same story for those set missions, but there's other missions that you do. There's other missions that you can do that you didn't do in the first one. It's
Unless they
different
add some extra stuff.
with nicer
but I don't
graphics.
know.
True, but how much nicer are they going to do it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I understand it's a different system and all this other stuff, but like, how much different is it going to be? Yeah, Division 2's too recent.
So what would you guys rate Square's conference then?
I would give it a B.
All right, RB.
I would say B plus.
Okay. Now, can I tell you guys what was my favorite conference of them all? Sorry, not sorry. To me personally, Nintendo won E3. And not just as a Nintendo fan, but as a gaming fan in general. Like,
I wouldn't say they won it. See, I would say they had a close second, but they didn't win it. And here's the reason why.
Microsoft?
And here's the reason why they didn't win it. All right. There's much hype about the new Switch, but nothing was spoken. They had a lot of,
which was weird.
They had a lot of family friendly games that were announced, which, don't get me wrong, I love my Switch. But
Same.
the only big announcement that they had of something new that people weren't expecting was the Breath of the Wild 2. The sequel to Breath of the Wild, Zelda. The other ones were, and they only showed like a little bit of it, like just a tease. But that's why I like Nintendo's E3s, because they show you what's coming out within the next year. They don't, 2020. They say, this game's coming out, like Contra. Here's the Contra series, the old Contras. You get all the old Contras. I think it was like 10 of them for $20.
Right.
Boom.
Tonight, yeah.
Then the Cadence of Hyrule, which they offered for like $25.
Mm-hmm.
They go, this is coming out a couple days later. It's $25. We already knew about Link's Awakening, the remake. That's a remake. So theirs wasn't really oh my god. But theirs was good. You know what I mean? Theirs was a very good conference. They focused on exactly what they wanted to focus on. It was entirely on software, not the console. And
Because they have the formula down for the direct, like that thing, like they perfect. Drop the one and it would still like be good because they've got it down to a T. At least on that model. That's why everyone's trying to do their own direct now. And even Devolver made fun of that because they know like it's a direction that Sony took. And Microsoft's trying to do their own thing with theirs. But honestly, like Inside Xbox doesn't quite cut it for me. I've been to one
well,
of them, and even there, like seeing that live, it was a bit of a mess. But
but
that's another
but
thing.
see, Jonesy girl, they're already bringing the new Switches. They're already like manufacturing them. And they just
Spain
haven't
already leaked
released.
them accidentally.
Yeah, they haven't released nothing about them, so we don't know what exactly the newer versions or the sticker prices, you know, of the new versions is going to be, what exactly it can do, what it can't do, if it's just going to be one piece. Like, they haven't released nothing about that. Cadence of Hyrule, I'm going to get it. It's just a matter of when. Link's Awakening, I'm going to get it. Animal Crossing, I'm going to get it. Luigi 3, I'm going to get it. I got kids. They love these games.
Contra.
I love these games. Contra, I'm still on the fence on. You know, as far as for them, for me, probably. I'm just,
You know what's what's the thing that a lot of Nintendo fans have been with Wii era, that I mean, not there's a niche fan base that I haven't seen anything for a while after the Wii. That was No More Heroes 3. Because
that
when
one
they saw
looks
the new
good.
Travis game, they were looking for that, but that kind of tanked. That Travis game wasn't that good. But then they were like, oh, okay, that was just like the prequel to that, like the preload or something. But here's a brand new No More Heroes coming like next year. No one saw that coming because they thought that series was dead. So
Hmm.
that was pretty nice. It was nice to have like a contractor all this time. It doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look good, but at least the gameplay seems like it could redeem it. So I was like, hey, contractor all these years. It's good. Nobody ever expected Panzer Dragoon to come back, and it's gonna make its way to the Switch. So I was like, all right, that's crazy. But a big thing that I've been really calling for months and months, almost a year, and I said this was gonna happen. Now that Microsoft and Nintendo's are playing nice to each other. We're gonna see a lot of the games, and probably not Nintendo games on Xbox platforms yet, but definitely Microsoft is gonna let Nintendo get some of their old toys back. For example, like
Hmm.
Killer Instinct and all that. It's like I knew
Banjo
that it
Kazooie.
right. I'm like, if they're gonna have rare collection, rare replay come to the Switch, that way you can get on the old Battletoads and Banjo and all that before the new ones come out and also are ported to the Switch. Or, which I knew was gonna happen, but I didn't expect it to come first. But I'm like, you know what? I'll take it because it's a good sign of good faith that more things Microsoft and more things Rare are gonna come back to the Switch eventually, which is fine. Was Banjo for Smash? People have been waiting for that for a long time, so I'm glad like
Hmm.
they listened on both ends. And even when Phil Spencer talked about it, says that it was like one of the easiest deals they had to do, and it only makes sense for both of them. So it can only get better from here on out on that relationship. And it's funny because now Sony also wants in, because
Now
it's
they
better
want
that they
in.
stick together against Google than fighting each other over the same piece of the pie. So that was cool. That really got me excited. I'm glad Banjo's back, and we're really gonna get a lot more things better on Nintendo stuff from Microsoft. Excuse me, from Microsoft from there on. So
All right.
yeah,
So,
but I called it.
thinking about E3, what was your favorite game announced? Not necessarily announcement per se, but um, game that they showed. Where'd you go with that? Because it's not necessarily an announcement if we already knew the game was coming out. So that they showed. What was your favorite? I already know what my favorite was. So
It's got to be like brand new IPs because there's a lot of
whatever
stuff
they
that I'm
showed,
excited about that are
whatever
not new.
whatever they showed that you were excited. What was your favorite thing that they showed?
Just one. Okay. Um, it's a tie between Watch Dogs Legion and Final Fantasy,
Army.
especially 8 coming back more than 7.
Come on, Army. Army's thinking about it now.
No, because
Yeah.
we already know what mine is.
I already know what mine is.
This is not.
No.
This is not a brain. This is a brain dead question. For me, it's Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh,
The
I
announcement
guess
of bringing
everyone in the chat is
Keanu
in on that
freaking Reeves to a freaking video game and him announcing it was awesome. I love that. I know I'm going to love this game. I can't wait to see what kind of story.
He stole E3.
Exactly. It was the best kept secret because nobody's seen it freaking coming. Nobody's
Right.
seen Keanu Reeves coming into this game. You know, it was just, oh, damn. Like, and the fact that he's playing a non-human character in the game, he's playing like your subconscious, which makes me wonder, what exactly are they bringing into this game if Keanu freaking Reeves is your subconscious?
For me personally, I would love to see a futuristic John Wick, but that's just me.
You know.
What if it's a futuristic Fight Club? And that's
We do
Tyler
not talk
Durden.
about Fight Club. What is the number one rule about Fight Club? We don't talk about it.
Exactly. However, that's a game. That's a game that we unfortunately have to wait until next spring.
Oh God, I know.
So for this year, mine's going to be Gears 5 because that's what I'm going to be playing in September. Besides Borderlands 3.
Oh yeah, those two for sure are gonna be big for that.
Like,
But it's just, yeah, I
Well,
agree
and
with
Link's
that.
Awakening.
well, I'm going to be playing that, but like for playing with friends, yeah. That's pretty much what I'm going to be on for 40 hours a week for however many weeks until I'm like, okay, I'm going to play a different game. Maybe. So I'm kind of glad that they didn't print another Assassin's Creed because I still got to finish the other one.
I love those games, but I'm glad they are taking 1-2 year breaks because like before Origins, there was fatigue and you could tell it was really affecting. Like
Well,
the
and they already
sales
hinted
of
at what the
Telly.
next one's going to be. They've already hinted it. It's hinted into Division 2. If you look
Rome?
closely, it's Vikings.
Oh yeah,
They've already hinted at it. In if you play Division 2, if you look at certain things, you will see the clue because the Viking is holding the Apple of Eden. So
yeah, the posters. right?
yep. So there is like tons of stuff that was showed. I'm glad that this was a good E3. I'm glad Sony didn't show up again. I am.
An A rating would have made it like a C+ with Sony there.
And the reason why
Yeah.
was because the past two E3s that Sony attended, it was the same old stuff that they said the year before. It was nothing new. Like, did Xbox show a game that they already talked about? Yeah. But they also talked about a whole bunch of new stuff besides that one game. They gave it a release date. That's pretty much all they did. We're going to release date this, and this is that.
They had a
Like,
big name announce it too.
yeah. While
Yeah.
when when Sony was doing the stuff, they didn't give a release date on anything but what was God of War
Something like that.
and Days Gone, and that's it. The other games, no release date, no release year, nothing.
Yeah.
Well,
The coolest thing there last year that wasn't even theirs was Resident Evil 2.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So
Sony
can we
won't be-
effectively say that Sony is done at E3?
Maybe.
Based on what we've seen,
Yeah.
like
Maybe,
we're,
maybe
we're all
not.
in agreement that we're giving this E3 an A rating without Sony there.
It all depends. Because
On
Sony's supposed to be doing their own thing. That's when they're supposed to be making their own announcements. Supposedly, maybe I would see them being at E3, especially if they're announcing the release date of the PS5. I could see them doing that. I could see
But we
them
already
going
know
next year.
We already know when they're targeting for their PS5 release date.
Yeah, it might be state of play. We don't know yet. You know, I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping they release something about something. Last of Us, preferably. That's what I want to know. Death Stranding,
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what's going to happen next year. They could just swoop in and like blow your minds, you know, or you
Well,
know
they
they
better
could be
blow
out of
my
business
mind.
next year. Who knows? You know.
It's weird because they're not even doing PSX anymore, and that was like their own thing, their own.
They're
big
doing
thing.
a state of
And
play.
they had-
They're doing state of play now, so that I think they wanted to try to do something new, do something different, because they could have seen it like we seen it. Okay, we're announcing the same stuff we already announced. We don't have nothing like boom this year, and that could have been the reason why. They could have just said, "Hey, we don't have nothing that would be good enough that we feel for E3." You know, because it's the same old stuff. So we don't know. They would never have an E3 without Nintendo. Maybe, you never know.
It would feel really weird.
But yep. Anything else, Army?
Well, how would you guys rate this E3 in general? I know a lot of people found most of it underwhelming. I thought it was decent. I've seen better, but it wasn't like all bad. So what would you guys give it?
I don't know. It's one of my favorite E3s.
I agree. I'd give it a solid A rating. You know, with big stars coming out into the mix now, it's starting to really get us wondering what can we look forward to in the future of gaming. You know, like what other big actors or actresses could be on their way into a game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like let's look at Keanu Reeves, Cyberpunk 2077 for starters. That's a big name coming into a game that we only saw a preview of last year.
Yeah.
Now we have a release date, what we're looking forward to.
Showed a little gameplay.
Oh, of course.
You know, and then, you know, you got the new consoles. Are these consoles going to live up to the hype, or are they going to crash and burn? You know, we don't really know much about the software except what they give us. Death Stranding, that's another one that comes out, I think, in November?
Yep.
So if you're reserving that, Furious, I need to know. Just saying. I need to know if you're reserving that. I mean, and that really looks like a weird game.
Right.
I'm probably going to enjoy it just because it's a weird game. I give it an A because of the dog. Without the dog, I would say an A. Miss Jones.
A plus if you can pet the dog. I don't see E3 becoming irrelevant.
I don't see E3 becoming irrelevant. It's just not as, in this day and age, with all the digital stuff that we have, with all...
And the leaks.
It doesn't... Because people like ruining stuff. I didn't care that a lot of stuff got leaked at E3. I still wanted to see the announcement. I wanted to see what they were going to show. Regardless of what they were going to show, I already knew, okay, Star Wars Fallen Order, they're going to show some gameplay. I knew that. Everybody knew that. We just wanted to see the gameplay. Or that Nintendo was going to announce this and this and this and this. And yeah, they were right for the most part, but then there was some stuff that they didn't even know about. Like, Nintendo, no gaming company needs E3. They don't need E3. You know, Microsoft doesn't need E3. They could have just announced that their own thing. Porter, thank you for the biddies. Nintendo doesn't need E3. They can announce it at their own thing. Same thing with Sony. They don't need E3. But they want to show it because it makes it easier to be, okay, we're going to be here. You can film this and bam.
Yeah.
You know, it gives interaction with their customers. It gives them interaction with future developers or whatever in that environment where people can actually see, hey, this is what we're trying to do. We're not just saying it. You're going to be able to play it. So I think that's the whole reason why they go to E3. Same thing why they go to PAX or whatever other gaming conventions they are. Because they want to show what they're capable of. And honestly, I'm excited to see what Scarlet and PS5 have in store. Like, you already know they're going to be similar. That's just how it goes. But one's going to be better than the other. It's just...
I still give the edge to Microsoft, though.
Yeah. Microsoft is going to be more powerful. The question is, after this, what games are they going to have? What games are they going to bring to the system that can make it shine? That's the thing. PlayStation, regardless if it was less powerful or not, they had games that would make it shine.
Oh, I agree.
Last of Us, Uncharted, Spider-Man, God of War. These were games that made that system shine. Regardless if you had the PS4, the Pro, whatever. It made the game shine. But see, I don't think they already stated that no next-gen console is going to have a game that you can't play on your other console. They've already stated that because they know that there's people that don't want to spend the money to get the Scarlet or the whatever PS5. So these developers are making games that work on the PS4 or the PS5 or the Xbox One, XS, Scarlet, whatever, however many names they got. Any games that are made for Xbox will work on every Xbox. Mm-hmm. So I think they're trying, like they're pretty much okay. This is going to be a high end for the gamer that wants it to look this good.
Right.
8K TVs are so expensive. How many people are really going to own an 8K TV by next November?
No one, unless you're filthy rich.
Like they are $4,000 for a small one.
Let me go pull that off my my money tree backyard.
So yeah, it's cool that it's 8K.
It's nice to have, but you don't need it.
You don't need the 8K. I got my 4K, and once I get my capture card, I won't have an 8K. I've seen how much the 8K TV is. I will not have that for at least another year and a half. Mm-hmm. And that's a maybe. Now, if I get an 8K monitor, that's a different story because those are going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
But, we're just getting into 4K streaming. Like, we're just getting into that. They just developed the 4K capture card. I mean, it's $400. So then you run into, okay, do I really need 8K or do I want to prepare? Oh, that's a minimum price, Miss Jones, by the way. And that's on sale. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's
How much
on
are
sale.
you saving?
For let's see. I will tell you right now.
I'm 8K
I'm
curious
TV.
now. If that's a sale, I want to know what the real price is.
All right, let's look. Let's look right here. Best Buy. Let's look at Best Buy. Okay.
Oh boy.
Their TV right now on sale is $4,500. The regular price is $5,000 for a 65-inch. For a 75-inch, you're looking at $7,000. For a 82-inch, you're looking at $9,000. For an 85-inch 4320p smart 8K ultra high definition TV with HDR, you are looking at $15,000. For a 98-inch, you are looking at $70,000. Now, mind you,
let me go pull out a loan.
Hold on. Now, let me remind you though, there was a time that the 1080p TVs used to be that high. That's what people fail to realize. The 1080p TVs were that high. I remember when I was a kid when the big screen TVs first came out. You remember that? The first ones? God, and they were not the best. The huge freaking box that was so heavy, if you freaking tilted that over, you were going to the hospital.
Yep.
That TV.
Heavy as hell.
But
I remember those, yep.
People used to spend it. I mean, I personally would not spend that much money. I think the most I've ever spent on a TV was $1,000. And that's because I got it from a rental place, so I had to pay that in interest.
Right, yeah. I think the most I've ever spent was like $600.
Yeah, Rent-A-Center, exactly. I think that's the most that I spent on TV. Now, mind you, it's a 72-inch 4K TV.
Oh, that's cool. But
otherwise, I don't, I only have a 4K monitor because it was on sale when my Xbox One X dropped, so I got them both at the same time. I got it for $120 for a 4K monitor because they were having the sale because, the Xbox One X 4K, so they were pushing these 4K monitors, and I'm like, $100? Bet.
Yoink.
It's not it's not the greatest 4K monitor, but it works. It does the job. So I don't even know why they want to push this 8K thing. I think it's just to show, hey, it can do this.
Right.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
It can do this. It's capable of this, But when you compare the newer consoles of the Xbox Scarlet and the PS5, Xbox is still beating them.
Oh yeah.
And I think they have some stuff that, Sony, released of the specs of the PS5. Let's see. I'm trying to look for. Yeah, because like they said, we've known the specs for the PS5 much longer than the Xbox. The PS5 is going to have a Zen 2 AMD Ryzen CPU and a custom Navi graphics card from AMD as well.
Mm-hmm.
But see, AMD's in the money-making business. They're making stuff for both. They're not stupid.
Exactly.
But they're also not stupid enough to put the same processor in both. We know Sony's going to have the SSD. We know Sony's going to have the 8-core Zen 2 processor. So Xbox says, yeah, we announced this. This is what it's capable of. This is what it's going to have. But they haven't fully said anything about it. They just said what it's capable. If you're looking at a 4K TV where things look animated, they have the wrong settings on their 4K TV. I'm just saying. I love watching my football games in 4K. I'm not even going to lie. I like watching it. I like being able to see the blades of grass. However, not all 4K TVs are alike, just like all systems aren't alike. They can have the same stuff put in, but if people don't know what they're doing with it, it's still going to look like crap. Poop will always look like poop. Can't change it.
Gotta calibrate it.
Yep.
Well,
that's what I do with mine.
Wait, hold on. This console, that's correct. Xbox One is more entertainment packed. However, if you watched E3, they have already stated Scarlet is a gaming system.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they want to focus on the gaming for this next system. Which might be a bad thing for Sony, because when Microsoft does that, they usually win. PS3 did not catch up until the Xbox One was released. Just saying, there's a reason. Xbox, like I said, I enjoy my warranty from Xbox. That's what makes me a returning customer. I've never had a problem with any of my systems, because if I would have, I probably wouldn't have bought them. I wouldn't have. I would have did the Game Pass for the PC, because I still like my Xbox games, but if the console sucks, the console sucks. It's just how it goes. Can't really do that with Sony. You're kind of stuck with what you get. You can't play Sony games on the PC, unfortunately. But like I said, I was a PlayStation fanboy. Now I'm an Xbox one. I enjoy the controllers better. That's why I got this honking, Vantage controller that's pretty much the size of an Xbox controller, because I can't use the PS4 controllers. They're too small. That's just my personal preference. That's why I always enjoyed the Xbox. My hand fit better, and some people, the PlayStation one fits better. It's just how it goes. I wish that they could all get along and we could have all these console games and everything coexist as one. You have certain games that are on PlayStation, certain games that play on Xbox, but the ones that are on both, we should be able to play with each other. I shouldn't have to buy the game twice to play with my people on other consoles. Shouldn't have to. I should, if Army's on Xbox and I'm on PlayStation, we own the same game, we should be able to play together. Maybe not.
Dauntless, that was great.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily in a Call of Duty fashion with the multiplayer maps, but something like you said, Dauntless, or another game,
Rocket League,
Fallout, etc.
Yeah,
but
even Nintendo can play, dude. Switch Master Race. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Switch Master Race. All right, I am done with my part. You done with your part?
Yes, sir.
Army, you done with your part?
Yep.
All right. We want to thank you all for stopping by for the first podcast back. We will be back in 2 weeks. Same channel, talking about other stuff. If you guys have any ideas of what you would like to see next on the channel, there is a spot in the Discord you can gain access to. I think you gotta click the emote or something like that, I believe. or you can DM one of us your ideas that you would like to see at any future podcast. Because this is community orientated, we want to know if there's stuff that you want changed, if we could do a better job at something, anything, ideas, opinions, anything like that. We greatly appreciate you guys stopping by, even though I'm hot as hell because I'm sweating like a pig because it's hot in my house. But if I turn my air conditioner on, you can't hear me. But
Perfect.
TPwn fam hype.
All good. Yes, sir.
TPwn life.